Many months back, I was doing some trades with a friend of mine and saw that he had a husk of an Epiphone Les Paul Standard in Ebony in his garage. All it had installed really at the time was the tuners, had no electronics, pickups, anything. He handed me what he thought was a working wiring harness, and I went from there. In the early 80s, my first Les Paul was not made by Gibson, but Ibanez, and is now referred to as the Les Paul lawsuit guitar in Ebony. In 1977, Gibson successfully sued the distributor of Ibanez in the United States for copying the headstock design of the Gibson Les Paul. Arguably, this probably could have been the best thing that happened to Ibanez, because in 1978, they mostly stopped producing copycat guitars and started manufacturing guitars of their own design. I love that guitar and I played it all the time. What is sad is I can't remember how or why I got rid of it. I do remember that it was really heavy though. I installed a set of Blizzard of 59 vintage Humbucker Set made by BYO Guitar Pickups. They go for a little over $100 and are a budget alternative set of PAF clones, and from my experience, they actually sound pretty good. The wiring harness caused me some consternation, or at least I thought that it did. I installed it and soldered everything in place and could not get the neck to work. No matter what I did, the pickup seemed to be okay on a multimeter, so I focused on the wiring instead. After playing around and not getting anywhere, I pulled the wiring out, put it in a template, and used the same 500K pots, and I basically rewired it from the ground up. When I put the wiring back in the guitar, I found I had exactly the same issue. Each of the pots measured about 500K, and the caps and wiring were all new and accurate, so I didn't think the wiring was the problem anymore. So I pulled the pickups out and replaced them with the only thing I had on hand at the time was a set of Seymour Duncan Seth levers, which is also a PAF clone, but arguably not in the budget savings area of the pricing spectrum. They are less than a set of Gibson PAFs, but not by much. They're really, really great pickups though. Don't get me wrong, I really like them and have like 4 or 5 sets. The Blizzard of 59 vintage Humbucker Set had been installed in another guitar and had worked flawlessly before. I really liked the tone of them and thought that they were a good value for what I paid. I'll pull them apart later and see what is wrong with the neck pickup. Hopefully I can resurrect them and be able to put them in another guitar. Well, this guitar got a lot more than a recovery. It now has pickups installed that go for a little more than half of what the guitar cost fully assembled. I really like the feel of the frets and the neck on this guitar. The frets are smooth and have very little wear. I do not know if they've had any work done on them prior, but the edges are really nice, and there's no rocking anywhere on the guitar neck. She comes in at 8 pounds and 1 ounce, which is a really nice weight for a Les Paul guitar. Plugged into an amp, she really kicks ass. The pickups sound great clean or through a tube screamer pedal. I now have 3 Epiphone Les Pauls. I have this fine ebony model, a gold top, and a TV yellow special. All 3 are more than worth the money that I've paid for them. I think that they're excellent representations of the Les Paul guitar.